I was like, Dad, please help me.
A vicious and almost deadly encounter.
Is she awake and breathing?
If she is, she's barely. She's in bad shape. I mean, her leg is almost gone.
I kept saying, I got you. There was a lot of blood lost.
And an incredible survivor beating all the odds.
I did not think I was going to die.
17-year-old Paige Winter attacked by a shark earlier this month off the coast of North Carolina, losing most of her left leg and sustaining serious damage to both her hands. But her fighting spirit and fierce determination inspiring so many. What is your message here?
Sometimes life just throws really weird obstacles at you. This is one of those really weird, crazy obstacles. It's really hard, but isn't that why we do things anyway? Because they're hard?
On June 2nd, Paige and her loved ones are enjoying a day at Atlantic Beach, playing in waist-high water with her family when she is suddenly pulled underwater.
I was like laughing because I thought, you know, sometimes you go to the beach with your family and they like grab your leg underwater as a joke. And I was like, haha, this is really funny. Ow. So then I start struggling and I'm like pushing with this foot away and I like start feeling around and I like feel it. I go from front to back and it's kind of smooth. So I'm like, is this like a snapping turtle? Like what's happening? And then it just starts like, you know how like a dog, they get a rope and they just start going like with their whole body.
She reaches down and tries to pry the shark off of her.
I remember giving up for a second. And I was like, no, wait a minute, I can't do that. Like, that's not an option. So I start praying. I'm like, I'm 17. Like, please don't let me die. Like, I'm not ready to die. And then my dad pulls me out of the water.
We're over here.
Her dad, Charlie, a firefighter and paramedic, immediately springs into action.
You could tell where she was because you could see pink on the water. She was already getting pulled back. That's where I dove in and I grabbed her.
And what'd you do?
And I pulled her up. You could see the shark come up right with her. And then you just immediately just start beating it with everything you could. He was staring at me sideways, just the biggest, blackest, eye-piercing.
How did you know?
I didn't. I just knew it had my girl.
He remembers fighting off the shark, then carrying Paige to shore. He says he switched from paramedic mode to dad mode.
Carrying her through the water, I was holding her leg as tight as I could to stop the bleeding. And then once I hit that shore, I'm a dad. I'm a dad, and I just wanted to take the moment in and hold her hand and tell her I loved her over and over over again.
A lot.
Because if you weren't going to be around for another 5 minutes, I wanted you, the last thing that you knew is that how much I loved you.
I love you too, Dad.
I was scared. One of the reasons I thought is just because how completely calm she was. I remember thinking this isn't good. This isn't right.
I was really aware, considering what had happened. I never lost consciousness.
What kind of pain were you in, Paige?
My body went into shock, so I couldn't really feel anything. I just knew it was bad.
Paige is airlifted to Bitten Medical Center in Greenville, North Carolina, less than 90 miles away. As a team of doctors work to save her life, Paige's attitude is still remarkably upbeat.
She's pretty incredible. As she rolled in the door to the trauma bay, she was cracking jokes. I told her that I was going to need to amputate her leg. And she said, okay, can I get a really cool prosthetic? And I said, you can get whatever you want.
Wow. The ability to reach Vitten's level 1 trauma center so quickly would be a key to her survival.
If Paige had to go any further, who knows what was going to happen? And Paige isn't the only person this is going to happen to. There are other men, women, and children that's going to have an accident. What happens to them?
And there was another crucial intervention for Paige. Back on the beach, a stranger handed over his belt that was used as a tourniquet on Paige's wounded leg.
If that tourniquet had not been placed, I do not think that she would have lived. Whatever kind of tourniquet you're using, you place it above the site of injury, and then you've got to tighten it until the bleeding stops. It's painful. The patient is going to hurt, but in order to save their life, you need to place it so the bleeding stops.
Paige is now facing lots of plastic surgery and physical therapy.
The hand injuries were a lot more significant. It looked like there were surgical knives taken to her hands. That's a very, very severe injury to not only reconstruct but recover from.
Her doctors and nurses say her positive attitude is maybe the most important part of her recovery.
Her charisma plays a huge role in her recovery.
What kind of patient is she?
the best. She's fun. She makes coming to work every day. When I have her, it makes it so exciting.
So it's legit. She really is this way. She wasn't just putting on for our cameras.
This is not fake, no.
Since Paige's brush with death earlier this month, there have been 2 more shark attacks along the North Carolina coast, including an 8-year-old whose leg was bitten.
Have reported a possible shark bite.
And 19-year-old surfer Austin Reed, who was bitten on the foot.
I just felt something like grab onto my leg, and I was like, oh my gosh. I told my friend, oh my gosh, I think he's got bit by a shark.
There were 32 unprovoked shark attacks in the U.S. in 2018, almost half of the worldwide total. The chances of being attacked by a shark are roughly 1 in 11.5 million. While shark encounters continue to make news, causing concerns about safety at the beach, Paige does not blame the sharks.
This situation has urged me to learn more about sharks, because even in the back of that ambulance, I was like, guys, like, don't get mad at the shark. Like, the shark is fine.
Can you help people understand why you feel that way?
I didn't do something directly to the shark, but I was in his water, you know. That's his house. I love sharks. A lot of sharks are killed because of shark finning, even though in the US it was banned in 2009, but only 12 states banned the sale of shark fins.
Sharks, they're not going to get a Christmas card from me this year. I love the fact that she loves them.
So this is someone you might recognize. Paige, surprising so many people with her grit and grace that we wanted to surprise her.
I just wanted to give you a big shout out.
He's my favorite male singer. Look at me. I love Adam Lambert.
And Iron Man himself,
Miss Winter?
Oh my God!
Robert Downey Jr. with a special request.
Like Tony with Peter Parker a few years back, I'm in a bit of a recruitment mode. I want to see if you would join my Footprint Coalition and be my North Carolina ambassador.
Awesome. Oh no.
Paige's dad, Charlie, says he's still struggling with how close he came to losing his daughter. I can't imagine for a parent what that must be like for you.
It's hard. Mornings I walk outside and you'll think about it a little bit. And you replay stuff. It's tough. But you know what? If she's going to be as tough as she is and she's going to have the outlook she has, then why shouldn't I?
What has been the most difficult time?
I used to do like my own makeup, and I always dyed my hair by myself, and now I can't really do any of that, you know? But I know, like, I'm going to be okay. You feel me? I'm gonna do all the stuff I used to do. I was aware from the beginning, nothing's gonna be the same ever again. Like, I'm still Paigey, just a little different. Got some pieces of the puzzle missing, but it's okay.
The shark didn't touch your spirit.
It did not.
I'm Robin Roberts for Nightline, Greenville, North Carolina.